be here. I just want to appreciate everybody for their hard work and their commitment in this area. Obviously, one of the joys of my job is I get to travel the country and visit young people in elementary schools and middle schools and high schools around the nation. And you have some times where it gives you great hope and a great sense of inspiration. You have other places where you feel the real challenge of what our kids are facing. And I just can't overstate, and I was appreciative to the choir here, how important it is for more dads to step up and be part of their children's lives. And we have young people literally crying out, asking. Some of our toughest high school, I sit down and talk to these young men and women. They say my lives would be totally different. My father was involved in their life. And so for all of you who are helping to bring dads back into the families, all of you who are making that tangible difference, I want to thank you so much for that. I went to, as Josh said, Josh is doing a great job bringing this effort. I have a 10-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son. My daughter had a band concert last night, and it was a great time. I don't know if she's going to go play the orchestra someday, but she loves playing the clarinet, and we managed to survive at home this year. But I had literally 3 or 4 people come up and say, we know how busy you are. It's so nice that you're here. And on one hand, it was really nice to hear that. On the other hand, I just think we sort of had this dumbing down of expectations. Like, this is my child. I'm supposed to be here. There's nothing more important I can be doing. And for this to be the one band concert for the year, for me to have something else that's more important, that's sort of unfathomable to me. And somehow I think for all of us, we sort of made it, given us as dads a pass somehow. It just didn't quite make sense. So it actually bothered me a little bit. And so I just want to challenge all of you to do everything you can. If we want strong schools, if we want strong communities, we are not going to get there. We are not going to get there until we have a heck of a lot more dads actively involved. You guys know the stats better than I do. Many of our African American Latino communities, 50, 60, 70, 80% of young people, their dad's not around. And I think that's way too much of a burden to place on all of our strong moms and grandmas. It's way too much of a burden to place on our great school teachers. Everyone's trying to do their part. We all have to be in this together. I watched a film, a very tough film called The Interrupters, which some of you may have seen. It's about the horrendous gang violence that we face back home in Chicago. It's the toughest issue I dealt with. But you had these hardcore guys on there talking and just saying straight up, I know my life would be different if my father would have been in my life. It's amazing these guys are so tough, so street smart, been locked up, and just flat out saying, I'd be a different person if my dad was there. And so we have just, again, amazing examples, these champions here that you guys are helping provide. Redouble your efforts. Challenge us to be a good partner. I'll just say personally on our side of the Department of Education, some ways I think we've been helpful, in other areas I think we've been part of the problem, quite frankly. One of the areas where I think we've been part of the problem is we have underinvested in parental engagement. And great teachers make a huge difference, great principals make a huge difference, but they can't do it by themselves. So in these very tough economic times, we're asking Congress to double, 100% increase our funding for parental engagement, to go from about $135 million to about $280 million. What we want to do is to invest in programs that make a difference. I don't want to create programs in Washington that doesn't make any sense, but you show me what you're doing, not the feel-good program, not looks good on a PowerPoint presentation. You show me what your program is doing to raise student achievement, to increase graduation rates, to reduce dropout rates, and we want to take to scale what is working. Now, I've visited many of your programs. I've traveled the country, been extraordinarily impressed. My challenge is how do we take to scale? How do we take to scale what is working? And so we want to use our resources, again, not to create things here, but to just help you guys impact more kids. And if we can do this systemically, then I just have the highest of hopes, highest of expectations for our young people. But if we don't do that, and if we continue as fathers to walk away from our responsibilities, it troubles me not just for children, for communities, but for our country. And the battles here are huge. The stakes are very high. But again, just thanks so much for your collective commitment. Thanks for the difference you have made. Thanks for the difference you're going to make. And please challenge me and my team to be a better partner than ever before and try and transform the lives of young kids. Thank you so much for having me. Sorry for interrupting.